Hi guys, my name is April Moon and I am the owner of Mint Beauty and have founded Minty Brows Academy for students. I live out here in the Pacific Northwest. My business is in Vancouver, Washington. I have been in cosmetic tattooing for, it started in 2016, so just about 5 years now. I love this industry. It is ever changing, ever growing. It is very rewarding to work with other people, get close and intimate with them, create something that makes them feel more confident, as well as, relaying your art into the world to express yourself. So cosmetic tattooing is great, but I do not take it lightly. You must understand getting into this career that you have a huge job to do. This is someone's face that they are entrusting into your hands. So it's not just a quick fix to a new career for fun. It is a very serious commitment, and I expect students or potential people who want to get into this industry to take it as seriously as I have. You can create something very amazing for yourself with the right dedication and hard work, but again, this is not an overnight, instant success thing or story for anyone. It was a lot of hard work for me to get to where I am today, and I just want to embrace this beautiful industry and make sure that the people that I train go out into the world and absolutely have a full understanding of what I've learned over the years through trial and error and experience.
Thanks, bitch.
I work all the time. This is my full-time job. I absolutely love it. I got into cosmetic tattooing because I love art. I love making people happy. I am with people regularly with my clients, and it is so rewarding creating something for them that boosts their confidence. One of the things that I wanted to discuss today is how I do my appointments kind of from start to finish, especially the intake and the aftercare. There's a lot of ways to do it out there. However, I have found through trial and error and with experience that this is the way that I like to do it. So let's discuss how I do a client intake. So clients can book their appointments online or they can reach out to me personally. Once they do that, then they are set on the books. I have them scheduled for a specific time. They come on in. I obviously greet them, ask them if they found the location okay, offer if they would like to use the restroom prior to getting into some basic paperwork. Once they are ready to do that, then I do hand them my iPad, which I have set up through WaiverSign to have consent forms virtually through my iPad system. So once they get through the paperwork, then I get into what the appointment is going to look like. I have them sit down, I sit there with them, and I let them know, we're not going to exactly get right into this. If it's okay with you, in a moment I'll have you up to the table. Please remove your shoes. And I'm going to clean, exfoliate, and take some before photos. Once I do that, I'll be applying a numbing agent. We will, during that time that you are numbing, discuss all aftercare, make sure you fully understand what to do, what not to do, and how it's going to look throughout the healing process, stages that you will be going through, and I'll be answering any questions that you do have. Once we get through that, then I'll move into a brow mapping. Obviously, I'm going to take into consideration your bone structure, nose, eyes, natural hair growth pattern, and of course, any previous cosmetic tattoo that I might be working with. Once I have decided on a shape, I will give you a mirror and we can look over that, make any changes as needed if needed, until you and I both like what we see. I do tend to lean on the conservative side as far as size and color, because I will see you again in about 2 months, and it's very easy to go darker and fuller. What's not so easy is to go lighter and smaller. Aftercare. So with aftercare, it varies. It doesn't mean that my way is the only way. This is just the way that I have found to work with me through trial and error. With 5 years under my belt, I have practiced different methods, and this is the way I like to do that. So Now I have my client numbing. I am going to discuss with them things to do, what not to do. I do always start with, I'll be sending you home with the paperwork. It's also on my website in case you were to lose it, but on the paperwork I'll be sending you home with, there is my direct line, so you can contact me via text or phone, and I will answer any questions that you might have throughout the healing process. But what I want from you today is, day one is a very important day as far as aftercare. You will leave here with little open breaks on your skin. You are susceptible today. I want you to keep all products away from it. Please do not touch it. However, I am going to have you do 2 rinses. And I say rinse and not cleanse because Hi. I'll stop.
What are you doing?
Recording Well, my coworker just walked in, so I got a little distracted. So let me hop back on and get into, that first day heal. Yeah, I do want them to do rinses, and this is with water only. What can happen with the skin? It happens on the first day, and if you have ever noticed with any type of scrape or something like that, you will see body fluids. That is plasma and lymph that can come off of the skin. And it's totally normal, totally natural, and it does not happen to everyone once they leave the appointment, but it does happen to quite a few. So I do let my clients know that what I want from them, it is special instructions on day one, is to, within a few hours after they've left the appointment, go ahead and do their first rinse. I want them to wash their hands really good, run some lukewarm water, no soap needed, and just splash their brows and touch them. If they feel a buildup of any type of crust layer, then I want them to gently break that down in circular motion on both sides and then rinse it clean until they feel nice and smooth again. Once they're there, then I have them pat them dry with something they dispose of. And I myself use a tissue, but you could use a cotton round or paper towel. And I do that by just putting pressure on the brow to absorb out the moisture rather than rubbing or wiping the area. And then they're good to go. They do that same process one more time before bed just to ensure that they are going to bed tonight with them nice and clean and smooth and dry. It will give them the opportunity to seal up without that extra buildup on them and move into the rest of the heal on day 2 for however long that takes them with a nice, clean, smooth slate. I also warn them, on day 2, they will dry out, be less susceptible. However, they are going to look a little darker on day 2. And they will get a little darker over the next few days until they get into the exfoliation stage. But as far as caring for the brows, on day 2 and for the remainder of the heal, it looks like this. This is what I tell my clients. Go ahead and use a mild soap. You can now do them in the shower, but I would like them wet for minimal amount of time. So I prefer you to, do your shampoo, conditioner, do that all away from your face, wash your body. If you're wearing makeup, I prefer you to wash that off without massaging that into the brows. Rinse your face clean, and then at the very end of your shower, get a little lather going and just gently dab that through the brows and rinse it clean, get out, pat them dry. And when I say a mild soap, recommendations that I give them would be like an unscented baby shampoo, a Dr. Bronner's, CeraVe, Cetaphil, not limited to those, but definitely something that is gentle, simple, not full of scents, or beady scrubs. Definitely want to avoid things like salicylic acids, which are for like anti-acne fighting ingredients, or retinols, which are in anti-aging products. Those create exfoliation on the skin and would not be good for your new tattoo. So something simple. And I have them do this process twice a day for the remainder of the heal. And then it's not that hard, it's just really rinse with a little soap, keep things out of them, and they're good to go. What the brows will look like though over the next few days is they will be darkening up. They will typically start the exfoliation stage around day 4 to 6, depending on how quickly the client starts moving into that direction. Once the exfoliation does start, they will notice, that little areas have come off, and that's fine. That's what's going to happen. That's the natural process. However, this does not happen all in one day. This typically goes on from around day 5 till between days 10 and 14. So typically there's about a week time span where clients are going through the exfoliation stage, and this can be scary for some clients. Some have it more intensely than others, and that also is normal. So you cannot predict what your client will go through, but you need to prep them what they will potentially have to deal with. So, you know, in a few days' time, the exfoliation will begin, and when it does happen, there'll be little areas that have sloughed off that will look quite a bit lighter than the areas that have not. So a little patchy, a little two-tone. What helps during this time is using the Aftercare ointment. I do provide that to my clients in an Aftercare goodie bag for them. And you know, you just put a little thin layer over the top. I usually tell them to use approximately about a rice grain amount freshly after rinsing and patting them dry. You know, as much as they need to, but typically it's about twice a day. It will help it to feel less itchy, look less dry, help it move in the right direction as far as keeping it hydrated. You know, they can even begin that ointment prior to the exfoliation. You know, in 3 days' time, they might wake up and feel tight and dry, and maybe that they want to itch them a little bit. That is a perfectly appropriate time to start using the ointment, as well as through the whole full extent of the exfoliation stage. So like I said, that could be as quick as day 7 for some, and that's fast and awesome, and then as long as day 14 for others, but commonly I do see that Aftercare wraps itself up about 10 days after the initial service. So that is the Aftercare information that I relate to the clients verbally, sitting with them one-on-one. I also like to discuss things to avoid during the heal time. So I don't want any intense sweating. So no saunas, hot tubs, steam rooms, tanning beds, intense working out. I want you to limit those things during the whole heal process. I do let clients know that they can go back to, you know, low intensity workouts the following day, but nothing that's going to create extensive heat in their body and sweat. I do have clients ask, well, what if I wear a sweatband? Can I go ahead and go for a 10-mile run if I don't get sweat in my brows? No, it's not just about the sweat, it's about overheating from within. I have found that this can create blurring and fading, and we definitely don't want that. So, you know, I tell them I can't control what you do once you leave here. This is my recommendation on what to do. But again, we will have a touch-up in approximately 2 months from now, and we will be able to, you know, enhance them or put in more pigment in areas you may have lost it. But it is really their job once they leave to execute the Aftercare to the best of their ability, because it's going to protect the work that they've done, that you have done, or I have done on their face for themselves. So, you know, make sure you let your client leave the appointment with a full, extensive amount of knowledge of what to do, what not to do, and what to expect during the heal time. Okay, I had mentioned earlier that I send my clients home with an Aftercare bag. It looks like this. It is a little sheer bag that I get off Amazon. I do the 4x6. No, that's not true. I print a 4x6 Aftercare card through Vistaprint that has information, basically the same thing that I went over, but gives them a paper copy. And then, I don't know, this is like 3x4, I don't know. And here is the Aftercare paperwork. Check that out. You can make those. I also send them home with one of my business cards. And for the past 2 years or so now, I have been using Brows, Eyes, Lips Aftercare, which is browseyeslips.com. They send a cute little card with their order that you can, you know, write their date and time of their touch-up appointment on there. And that is what I send my clients home with. It's cute, it's easy. I pre-make them so that I'm good to go. And it lets me know, you know, if I'm running out, things I need to order. So that is what that looks like. If you guys want to give me a follow, you can go ahead and check out my website. You can follow me on social media. These are my little web addresses here and links to social media. So go ahead and give me a follow. Have a great day, guys.